gvolps, szorg, gvolps. We connect to the energy. Gvolps, szorg, gvolps. We connect to the legacy. Gvolps, szorg, gvolps. We connect to the memory of those that were, those that are, and those that are to come. Flora Ledford, December 27th, 1950. Karen Eileen Hoffman, September 11th, 2018. Larry Ronald Holman, ISG, U.S. Army, Vietnam, September 26th, 1945 to July 9th, 2006. James Riley Hall, Jr., June 5th, 1986. Lucille H. Irvin, September 21st, 1982. Doris Gooch Moss, December 8th, 1971. Clyde and Louis Audrey May Lanford, July 31st, 2022. Born and died June 16th, 1937. Louis Adams, April 5th, 2003. Married February 1932. Clyde Dean Sr., April 16th, 1973. Susie McAllister, November 30th, 1930. Married January 1919. Willie Irvin, February 5th, 1996. Annie Starkey, December 21st, 1925. E. Preston Grant, August 23rd, 1929. Gladys S. Hughes, 1930. Joyce E.M. Hughes, April 16th, 1938 birth. Charles Hughes, March 22nd, 1988. Luther M. Lynch, 1943. Eller W. Lynch, 1969. Alice S. Bentley, April 4th, 1945. Raymond E. Turner, South Carolina, something artillery, March 17th, 1934. Mary Rebecca McClellan, December 30th, 1981. Annie Story McClellan, March 10th, 1959. Albert Eugene McClellan, December 10th, 1941. Harold Houston Liddell, May 7th, 1992. Charlie Ernest McClellan, October 23rd, 1955. William Henderson McClellan, September 7th, 1942. Lawrence T. Williams, Born January 4th, 1903. Mary Ruth Williams, April 21st, 1940. Death. Annie McMinn, January 31st, 1935. Fletcher McAbee, June 14th, 1959. William Oscar Malden, December 2nd, 1928. William O. Malden, December 2nd, 1923. Ola L. Malden, April 12th, 1964. Benjamin F. Malden, September 6, 1963. He was born June 19th, 1898. World War I, Private First Class, Co. M6 Infantry. Raymond F. Mitchell, November 6th, 1985. Annie M. Mitchell, January 15th, 1986. Martha Wynne, January 24th, 1931. Samuel L. Graith, November 5th, 1941. Miriam O. Hammett, July 15th, 1987. Maggie R. Hammett, July 22nd, 1972. Clarence Lee Hammett, December 1st, 1941. Annie Laurie Hammett, 2011. Reverend William Warrington, 2001. Thomas Ode Cooper, October 8th, 1929. Mary Jane Garrick, February 24th, 1936. Stella Rigdon Cooper, June 27th, 1990. Fanny M. Hovis, February 7th, 1929. James Thomas Cooper, March 21st, 1991. Dorothy Elizabeth Cooper, January 15th, 1931. Mary L. Ford, July 7th, 1989. Alvin C. Ford, March 8th, 1941. W. Spurgeon Walker, March 3rd, 1941. Dolly W. Walker, April 9th, 1965. Anthony Lewis Hunter, April 18th, 1945. Mary Jane Hopkins, January 4th, 1968. Eddie Lewis Hunter, June 15th, 1980. Guy J. Hunter, April 13th, 1964. Cecil Guynell Hunter, February 1st, 1992. Herman Cyril Hunter, October 26, 1940. A. Williams Pickens, July 23rd, 1956. Veteran of World War I. He's born March 19th, 1890. Julia Elizabeth Pickens, 1927. Andrew Gordon, 1945. Gordon Pickens. Alma D. Liddell, August 27th, 1980. James H. Liddell, January 6th, 1983. Infant son of J.H. and A.D. Liddell, October 15th, 1918. Corey F. Davis, June 15th, 1927. Sue Pickens, born November 4th, 1943. Peter McKim, died February 18th, 2021. James Gordon, July 25th, 1958. Maud A. Gambrell, September 30th, 1938. Mary Estelle, October 26, 1925. Julius Hayward Fellers, January 28, 1936. Robert Hamilton Fellers, August 30th, 1925. Dolores Strom Fellers, July 17th, 2019. James C. Fellers, Sergeant U.S. Army, World War II, March 31st, 1922 to June 25th, 2006. Edward Esther Fellers, February 22nd, 1953. Drury A. Vaughn, December 31st, 1946. Francis E. Pickens Gateski, Technician 5, U.S. Army, World War II, December 5th, 1921 to October 8th, 2008. James Gordon Jr., November 22nd, 1985. Lily M. Childers, October 7th, 1981. Norman Humphreys, June 2nd, 1977. Bella Lewis Humphreys, December 1st, 1981. W. Bartow Humphreys, December 14th, 1924. Harry D. Bridges, May 8th, 1990. Freddie H. Bridges, January 19th, 1981. Roy Humphreys, September 5th, 1958. Osborne F. Brown, South Carolina, Sergeant 20, Station Hostel, World War II, Korea, February 24th, 1910 to July 29th, 1971. Fred P. Howard, September 9th, 1963. Maud B. Howard. Sally L. Bolden, January 26, 1967. Lazarus Bolden, April 25th, 1931. B.D. Bolden, South Carolina, December 5th, 1942. Private. Fred E. Daniels, June 23rd, 1952. James Thomas Jefferson Reed, October 5th, 2018. Mary Lou Mims Reed, June 25th, 2015. David Mims Reed, December 2nd, 2021. Carol Dyer Springfield, July 10th, 1975. H.G. Springfield, May 10th, 1939. Virginia Elizabeth Robertson, February 18th, 1920. Nancy Lee Shelton, June 6, 1969. Mamie S. Greer, 1973. Bunyan B. Greer, 1950. October 10th, 1920. Son of Shelto, Hugh Shelto. Pearl Shepard, May 1st, 1989. James Blaine, May 4th, 1959. Evelyn Johnson, September 29th, 1966. W. Mike Shelton, September 16th, 1952. Henry A. Paris Jr., March 23rd, 1921. Cara S. Paris, May 20th, 1952. Henry A. Paris, January 5th, 1927. David Henry Mims Jr., January 18th, 1929. Mass Springfield Mims, January 18th, 1982. David Henry Mims, November 12th, 1949. Doris E. Orr, May 11th, 1974. Clyde Putman, September 14th, 1987. Clarence E. Honeycutt, January 8th, 1946. Warren Harold Christian Sr., 95th Infantry Division, June 27th, 1922 to February 25th, 2013. Doris Mary Christian, October 20th, 2000. Gorell E. Campbell, 1959. Dora E. Campbell, 1937. Maddie Lillian, February 9th, 1925. Dewey Surratt, November 13th, 1958. Irene S. Surratt, May 7th, 2014. Lecter L. Surratt, April 16th, 1992. Lulla J. Surratt, December 2nd, 1982. Milford C. Surratt, Private U.S. Army, World War II, May 26, 1915 to April 16, 1992. James A. Campbell, April 12, 1971. Ruth R. Campbell, December 14, 1992. Clara Campbell, March 20th, 1926. T.J. Marchbanks, 1991. Hovey Marchbanks, 1943. Corey E. Bishop, November 12th, 1918. Philip Bracken Bishop, March 6, 1932. Mahala Jane Heath, March 8, 1939. Ma Bishop Lee, August 4th, 1979. Maddie H. Orr, October 11th, 1931. Charles M. Orr, June 9th, 1962. Ethel P. Orr, March 18th, 2002. Charlie D. Hopkins, February 23rd, 1930. Della Bishop Hawkins, November 21st, 1988. Virginia Catherine Arnold, July 28th, 1925. James P. Brooks, December 19th, 1917. Miss Amanda A. Brooks, March 2nd, 1934. William J. Gaylord, April 3rd, 1920. Mary A. Tumblin, November 19th, 1938. J.H. Gaylord, January 17th, 1966. Lavinia E. Childress, April 25th, 1945. Clovey Lewis Arnold, January 12th, 1930. Hovey T.L. Okay, 1908, 1902, so he was a child, I guess. died, yeah, something with a 1. 11. Can't make that out. Sarah E. Brooks, May 4th, 1918. Lyda Brooks Graham, February 21st, 1947. Maggie T. Kiesler, March 18th, 1932. Fred C. Guerin, 1953. Canny E. Byers, 1939. Marion G. Guerin, 1920. Mary Jane Guerin, 1919. Louis S. Guerin, 1926. William W. Maddox, Co. I-3, South Carolina Infantry, Confederate States of America, January 2nd, 1938 to January 20th, 1921. Emma Smith, November 19th, 1919. Ernest A. Buckner, December 28th, 1966. Lola T. Buckner, June 8th, 1988. Pauline Buckner Monahan, November 2nd, 1990. Lily Paris Buckner, June 14th, 1903, birth. James Roosevelt, August 18th, 1964. Emma Vernon, June 19th, 1924. Iron Ware Toth, September 16th, 1997. William Clyde Painter, December 10th, 1928. Molly G. Painter, December 6th, 1968. Oscar B. Painter, December 19th, 1971. Maggie Jordan, February 15th, 1945. George Burt Lawless, February 20th, 1967. Lottie Jordan Lawless, May 15th, 1965. Louise Lawless Perry, August 19th, 2002. Ellie Ray Perry, September 23rd, 1975. Vera Lee Painter, April 29th, 1974. Charles H. Painter, July 24th, 1999. Deborah C. Painter, May 20th, 2018. John F. Stansel, November 19th, 1975. Double check over here. Did I say Ella Shelton, October 2nd, 1918? Sadie D. Smith, March 16th, 1974. J.D. Smith Sr., January 12th, 1976. Melvin Fred Smith, April 27th, 1944. Verna F. Smith, July 5th, 1924. Birth, J.D. Smith Jr., October 2nd, 1975. Edward P. Hawkins, Sergeant 1, U.S. Army, Air Forces, April 8th, 1919 to May 5th, 2007. Zeb. Llewellyn T. Hawkins, November 27th, 2017. George T. Power, 1974. Emma L. Farrow. (1959). Joanne Sherrill, June 7th, 1944. Odessa Power, January 15th, 1917. M.G. Power, August 31st, 1942. Georgia A. Trotter, October 24th, 1943. Archie Thompson, January 8th, 1960. Queen M. Thompson, January 2nd, 1991. Georgiana Rogers, December 5th, 1957. James W. Talent, December 29th, 1941. Vardry E. Lendrith, South Carolina, Private First Class, Co. K3, Pioneer Infantry, World War I, January 16th, 1895 to December 11th, 1963. James M. Hawkins Sr., SF-3, U.S. Navy, November 11th, 1919 to June 10th, 2007. James M. Hawkins Jr., Sergeant, U.S. Army, Vietnam, Persian Gulf, April 16th, 1948 to August 13th, 2021. Jesse Ma, August 24th, 1974. J.M. Hawkins, June 17th, 1924. J.B. Howell, December 18th, 1926. Earl Moorhead, June 23rd, 1925. Thelma Chandler, January 13th, 2014. Marion Frances Moorhead, March 3rd, 1998. Their children, Michael Chandler, 1943. Walter Douglas, 1946. Margaret Ann, 1950. And I presume those are the births. Maggie Hawkins, February 26, 1929. Dennis Crosby, November 23rd, 1929. Grady Hawkins, October 2nd, 1934. Sharon Jeanine Lawson, January 27th, 1950. Victoria Galloway, November 7th, 1948. J.J. Center, December 31st, 1931. Dolores Jeanine Lawson, March 28th, 2010. Talmadge Lawson, S1, U.S. Navy, World War II, April 10th, 1925. to October 20th, 1987. Dennis Lewis, Dallas, July 14th, 1956. Lucille Tapp, December 4th, 1972. William Lewis, Dallas, May 4th, 1991. Or they all have the last name as Dallas. Mary Sue Floyd, February 1st, 1947. Walter Lewis Moorhead, June 6, 1951. Minnie A. Hawkins, April 23rd, 1939. William T. Hawkins, May 26, 1950. From the flag. Sarah Galloway, August 19th, 1933. Charlie P. Hawkins, 2000. Vera C. Hawkins, 1994. Mont Arthur, December 8th, 1936 birth. Lewis K. Hart, January 29th, 2023. And the Harts were married January 19th, 1962. Guy Henry Hart, T. Sergeant, U.S. Army, World War II, November 23rd, 1908 to December 10th, 2001. 263rd Coast Artillery, 573rd Field Artillery. Montine Hunbay, January 8th, 2008. Charles Marvin Hart, June 18th, 1936. Francis Mahan, March 8th, 1937. Roland William, October 2nd, 2003. Evelyn Lynch Hembry, born December 13th, 1929. William Hembry. Matthew Lynch, July 28th, 1929. David Lynch, April 8th, 2024. Wasn't there a famous David Lynch that died last year? Rex Rice Hart, South Carolina. By last year, I mean 2024. Corporal, 23rd Infantry, 2nd Infantry Division, World War II, Korea, PH, March 2nd, 1920 to September 1st, 1950. Charles Martin Hart, September 5th, 1956. Eileen McGabby, April 21st, 1935. Okay, there's a discrepancy. July 23rd, 1878. July 25th, 1877. And the birth date here, January 9th, 1871, January 9th, 1874. Sure, it's the same person, though. Clyde Hart, July 6th, 1928. Mary Hart Thomas, January 16th, 1969. Maud McDonald, May 3rd, 1938. Joe McDonald, March 25th, 1945. Mattie Norris Hawkins, April 27th, 1992. Samuel Beatty Hawkins, September 17th, 1929. Raymond F. Cox, born March 11th, 1927. Zadie N. Cox, April 28th, 1950. Frank Cox, South Carolina, Private U.S. Army, World War I, August 25th, 1894 to February 8th, 1965. Warren F. Cox, February 8th, 1965. Okay, that's got to be the same. Doris Hicks Atkins, November 13th, 1966. Born January 16th, 1903. I'm not sure whether that flag's for that or this. John T. Atkins, South Carolina, Corp 1, Rect Air Service, October 16th, 1935. J.C. Carroll, January 10th, 1935. Jasper Edward Gause, February 14th, 1975. Nora Allen Gause, December 19th, 1938. William Harold Hudson, November 14th, 1938. Bertha Lee Sloan, June 27th, 2006. Tabitha E. Harris, February 21st, 1940. John B. Harris, December 12th, 1929. Mamie Harris Wood, November 4th, 1954. Ruby A. Hembry, December 8th, 1986. Sarah Ellen Turner, November 26th, 1933. Hugh Cleveland Turner, April 24th, 1930. Sarah Elizabeth A. Radin, May 6, 2013. Rufus Radin Sr., October 16th, 1996, and they were married November 19th, 1940. Sally M. Harris, March 19th, 1969. Frank C. Harris, August 16th, 1978. Nora Allen, 1938. Jasper Edwin Gause, February 14th, 1975. J. Newton Johnson, December 26, 1932. Margaret Ever Reed, March 21st, 1961. Bailey L. Byers, July 20th, 2000. Annie A. Byers, September 22nd, 2010. Christina H. Cooper, May 8th, 1933. B. Monroe Hollis, July 27th, 1980. Lafton D. Smith, June 26, 1929. Margaret Riggins, January 20th, 1919. Augustus S. Riggins, May 26, 1959. Roberta M. Riggins, December 23rd, 1973. William L. Smith, January 27th, 1938. I felt like something was around there, but I couldn't. Nellie T. Smith, March 28, 1965. Cecil S. Prince, September 7th, 1992. Florence H. Lee, May 23rd, 1929. Willie L. Alberson, December 7th, 1975. Ben T. Alberson, January 18th, 1973. Florence Tanner Keith, July 13th, 1929. Green Martha, or is it Green Martha Wichell, September 29th, 2015. Vera Laferty Welchel, 2011. Lester R. Welchel, 1965. Zeri L. Smith, January 8th, 1940. Alice B. Anderson, October 21st, 1938. John L. Welchel, 1927. Carrie K. Welchel, 1956. Robert C. Welchel, 1996. And remember, with the Psalms, when it says Lord, it usually does not mean Lord. Thomas L. Kendrick, 1970. Lois P. Kendrick, 1983. John David Johnson, Colonel, U.S. Army, Sergeant, U.S. Air Force, March 16th, 1945 to August 20th, 2021. Thomas Mike Johnson, February 15th, 2013. Rosa P. Warlick, March 18th, 1983. Oscar J. Warlick, June 28th, 1931. James I. Warlick, March 31st, 1981. Born March 16th, 1920. TSGT, U.S. Army, World War II. Roy Smothers, South Carolina. Wagoner, Co. G1, Ammo, Train, World War I, SS, PH, July 17th, 1896 to January 5th, 1959. Nell W. Trainham, November 10th, 1988. Ruby W. Askew, August 24th, 1989. Joseph M. Askew, June 29th. June 23rd, 1990. Sarah Ma Jameson Johnson, May 4th, 1942. Reverend Clyde M. Johnson, July 4th, 1986. Lois E. Johnson, April 10th, 1989. Ma V. Smothers, April 13th, 1976. Richard S. Smothers, South Carolina, Private, First Class, 321st Infantry, 81, Wildcat Division, World War II, PH, November 4th, 1920 to October 2nd, 1944. Francis Louise Fisher, May 29th, 1934. Lzwvmmh Fisher, September 6th, 2003. Carl Beach, Sergeant U.S. Army, World War II, October 7th, 1925 to May 28th, 1996. Purple Heart. Alfred B. Fisher, July 16th, 1962. Annie Bell Fisher, July 23rd, 1938. Claude L. Hutchison, January 7th, 1942. Ella J. Galloway, March 9th, 1940. Ruth Page, July 13th, 1982. Roy Haskell, Riggins, June 30th, 1931. Clive Charles, July 10th, 1994. Mildred Riggins, October 6, 2010. Linda Ann Faulkner, August 28th, 2014. Frank C. Malden, 1980. Ernest G. Faulkner, December 5th, 1995. Dolly M. Faulkner, December 26, 2006. Sarah Kessler, December 13th, 1943. Robert A. Brown, February 12th, 1936. Iva Lana Webb, September 19th, 1970. Andrew Judson McGraw, October 6, 1928. Ruby Lee McCraw, October 30th, 1992. Joyce McCraw, November 8th, 1999. Rogers. Doris M. Hollis, July 27th, 1980. Nancy Edwards, June 14th, 1934. Arthur D. Brown, March 5th, 1967. Ruth Carver, June 1st, 1998. Odette R. Brothers, September 7th, 1979. Ressie A. Reimer, November 21st, 1991. Claude Reimer, January 27th, 1928. Born April 1st, 1895. World War I. William L. Brown, July 5th, 1894 birth. Ruby Dixie Franks, March 21st, 1932. James Roy Ball, May 27th, 1926. Jenny Gosnell Coker, August 2nd, 1960. Roy Alred Coker, March 16th, 1940. Thomas Edward Campbell, June 23rd, 1957. N. Winona Coker, July 22nd, 1979. Noah H. Knight, January 29th, 1938. Melvina Knight, March 31st, 1934. James C. Tollison, South Carolina, Corporal, U.S. Army, World War II, October 3rd, 1924 to September 30th, 1960. Minnie Knight Gilliard, 1940. G.L. Steve Knight, 1944. Jean Carroll Bryant, September 6, 1931. Henry Moore, March 24th, 1960. Joseph B. Chambers, February 8, 1926. Walter T. Q. Kendall, November 7th, 1930. Sarah Jane Henson, May 17th, 1927. Charles Walter Q. Kendall, February 20th, 1995. Annie Massey Q. Kendall, January 29th, 1976. Mary Frances McLean, January 8th, 2008. Norma June Landreth, born September 10th, 1935. Mandre E. Landreth, South Carolina, Private Co. K3, Pioneer Infantry, World War I, January 16th, 1895, December 11th, 1963. Oh, looks like a... Okay. Bardry. Yeah, we went into that one right. Juanette C. Landreth, February 25th, 1979. Edith Q. Kendall, December 19th, 1922. Kendall, 1930s, 17th, 1927. B. Chambers, February 8th, 1926. James E. Westmoreland, September 12th, 1934. Claribel Harn, October 27th, 1968. Mamie C. Quinn, July 3rd, 1979. Thomas H. Harn, June 3rd, 1942. Louise Harn Jameson, March 21st, 2008. Joseph Franklin Riggio Jr., U.S. Army, August 11th, 1944 to January 13th, 1999. Elmer H. Harn, October 31st, 1918. Rachel Farquhar, April 28th, 1937. Nellie Harn Halsell, January 2nd, 1961. Hallie Harn Estes, June 28th, 1927. John W. Quinn, April 14th, 1941, Lola Gallagher Quinn. December 17th, 1951. Johnny G. Quinn, November 22nd, 1918. Johnny Howard Harn, born March 11th, 1914, February 8th, 1915. Okay, somebody's... Yeah, that counts. This veteran status. James H. Smith, January 18th, 1981. Marion C. Smith, December 2nd, 1985. Elizabeth Q. Cooper, December 8th, 1979. Foster H. Cooper, January 7th, 1980. Rayford A. Husky, 1984. Dora H. Husky, 2001. They were married May 11th, 1924. Mike Husky, 1956. J.D. Simmons, August 2nd, 1950. Sally Youngblood, December 4th, 1940. George R. Andrews, South Carolina, private engineers, World War II, February 28th, 1908, February 22nd, 1971. Eugenia Simmons, March 12th, 1952. Ansel V. K., June 10th, 1982. July 31st, 1915. March, okay, it's an infant. Galloway Chester A. Galloway Jr. Chester A. Galloway, June 13th, 1966. Fanny M. Galloway, born September 4th, 1889. Christine S. K., May 15th, 2005. Sally Youngblood, December 4th, 1940. Okay, already did that one. May 26th, 1916. Galloway, Paul Willis Galloway. Louise B. Gaze, June 20th, 1920. Grace Dozen Gaze, August 17th, 1939. T.J. Ballard, November 10th, 1929. Chloe Morris, February 22nd, 1885, birth. W. Henry Withers, November 13th, 1934, death. Hazel A. Withers, February 27th, 2008. Ray W. Green, 1986. W. Ray, December 20th, 1986. Frank T. Green, 1989. Joel M. Green, 1990. Carrie Ballard Green, June 20th, 1979. Clarence M. Ballard, September 5th, 1920. Rebecca L. K., May 24th, 1915. Just when you press it, that weird dull vibration. Maxwell O. Center, April 1st, 1944, birth. Mildred Stargill Center, March 11th, 2011, death. James H. Davis, South Carolina, private, 15, Ben, 5th Division, August 27th, 1932. Marshall S. Aiken, 1920. Perry O. Aiken, 1936. Margaret Emily Crow, April 28th, 1968. Elsie Jones, 1939. Katie Eliza Jones, June 17th, 1981. Margaret Ethel Jones, January 18th, 1985. Harold G. Gaines, October 6, 2012. Barbara Neal Gaines, April 9th, 2001. Charlene Neal Bannister, February 27th, 2001. H. Jerome Bannister, January 17th, 2014. Furman A. Neal Sr., May 25th, 1984. Esther Sudith Neal, May 11th, 1979. James Thomas Davis Neal, August 12th, 1944. Gvolps, szorg, we connect to the memory. Gvolps, szorg, we connect to the legacy. Gvolps, szorg, we connect to the energy of those that were, those that are, and those that are to come.